We're a short few seconds away from the fourth NSG game here in Austin, Texas. Darel Russell and Andy Coverstone are back. So hi guys. I'm a little nervous about reporting on today's game because usually I get the precursor of watching the game live. So today we're only going to get to see this straight up on the video. So it's going to be an interesting one because we're not tainted by anything that might have been seen on the day or any comments or suggestions or analysis that might have happened on game day, Andy.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to go into this one, kind of blind right now, but obviously this is the fourth national selection game here at ECNL, Texas. It was just north of Austin in Round Rock Multi-Purpose Complex. So looking ready to kick off. Looks like a good crowd. Looks like a little bit of wind, as you can see the shorts blowing around a little bit out there on some of the players. But yeah, I'm excited to check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, the first three games have been absolutely fantastic so far, and they've been really exciting. Obviously, we've got a sneak preview because we now know what the score line was. So obviously, we know that there's going to be definitely some action going in today's game. But outside of that, we've got no idea what the gameplay was. Obviously, two teams look like they're setting up slightly differently. I don't know if you've got that information, Andy, in regards to how they're setting up to start the games.
Yeah, it looks like if I'm reading it correctly here, it looks like, and can't quite tell from this angle yet, but East in blue, West in white. East looks like they're going to start off in like a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-1-2. West in more of a 4-3-1-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, it's going to be very interesting from the perspective of seeing how the West utilize that space in the wide areas from the outset. And it's just exciting. I'm looking forward to it. They look like they're already about to kick off now. So we may be a little bit slow in our analysis in the first few minutes because obviously we want to kind of get a little look because we have no idea what it's like. But you know what? One thing I will say, though, is every game so far has been electric from the start, and boys have been excited, energetic to go and kick off with that game. And it's been 100 miles per hour from the start. So it's going to be interesting if they have that kind of nervous energy they want to get rid of in those initial 5-10 minutes and the speed of the game. So off we go.
For sure. You'd love to see that with a team just playing forward right away, kind of setting the tone.
So obviously I'm a little bit quiet because I've got no precursor, but I want to see. So obviously it's East have picked up the ball in midfield now and look to kind of shift and move forward, and they've held most of the possession and they've laid the ball down the far side here, and it looks like number 10. He's got involved early in the game. I'm hoping my number is Tennis Ramos. It looks like for the East.
Yeah.
I'm unsure of his first name, but and Andy, you might know where he comes out of or plays out of.
Yeah, so that's Ramos out of Houston Dynamo. I believe involved a lot in the attack for East going forward, but rapid pace to the start of this game. As we've got, I think, 10 seconds in, and we've already got a player who's gone through the banner on one end line. So it's not a bad sign for the pace of the game.
No, for sure. And obviously, we just saw Ramos got himself involved in three actions very, very early. So it's going to be seeing if he can continue that kind of involvement early part of the game. And he could possibly be an exciting player as he looks to chase a ball that was flicked on, but a little too far and into the goalkeeper's hands on the west side. So we're going to see if they look to try and play from the back. It'd be interesting what type of instructions the coaches have given the team. But it looks like for his first interaction, he's rolled it out. It looks like he's going to go longer. So they've kind of tucked in as he's shifted the ball well outside of his box now. No pressure on him, and delivers a long ball forward.
Yeah, well flicked on there. Good run from your central forward to get on the ball.
It looked like Medina picked it up. Looked to put a cross in there. Picked back up by the number 6, who shifted it out wide while he continues his run on the outside there, looking to put a ball in the box and test the East's defense. But no, they look to be patient. Unfortunately, gets cut out. And they look for a quick transition on the East, but again, it's still a little scrappy. Everyone just trying to find their feet and get that first pass off. In these early stages of the game, you want to get that first good, clean pass off. And it looks like Ramos, again, is involved and making himself available in those high positions.
Yeah. great looking facility out there in Texas. It looks like crowd has poured in. So I imagine atmosphere must have been outstanding for all these boys to play in. So like you said, a little bit of nerves maybe to start, but as far as the intensity and pace of the game goes, I think a lot of a great atmosphere there, similar to every other national selection game we've had around the country. So looks really like a really neat event, neat complex to be at.
Yeah, and early on, I've actually liked the West's goalkeeper. Is it Banich? I think in playing number 0 there.
Yeah.
He looks like he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. In his initial kick out, he rolled it out very far, testing the East's resolve, whether they would come out and close him down. He tried to get himself a few extra yards on that field, and now obviously he's just had a little bit of comfort under pressure. Two of the East's centre forwards trying to close him down, and he was very comfortable in possession. So it's going to be interesting to see how involved he is, especially with a modern type of goalkeeper we have these days that kind of help with defensive play and look to play out from back.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he's a player who's willing to get on the ball as a goalkeeper, and maybe wouldn't be surprised to see him flying around outside the box a few times in this game. A little bit of sweeper keeper action, if you will.
Yeah, definitely adventurous right now from the early startings or the initial interactions he's had in this game.
Mm-hmm. Great combination play from West on a couple of their attacks too. It looks like, again, you got to remember these players haven't played together. They don't know each other. They're coming from different clubs, different parts of the country. To play together for the very first time in front of this crowd and this atmosphere on this facility, and it's good to see that you can still connect, you can still combine, you can still kind of read each other's movements. Just says a lot to the quality of these players and their knowledge of the game, I think.
No, without a doubt. And obviously, if you're a good player, you understand the fundamentals of the game. It should take you not too long to kind of get that continuity in being able to play together. Always difficult having it perfected, but they all want to move the ball. They all want to kind of score. And if you've got those kind of fundamentals instilled in you at your respective clubs, that should be a good foundation to gel together as a team. So it looks like a free kick here now. A few minutes in, probably 5-6 minutes in, wide there from the East, delivered in, just bounced all the way through to the far post. Had an opportunity there. I think that was the centre back. He looks like he's sprinting right back there, but couldn't get enough power on that shot there, or deflection, should we say, and straight into the keeper, Banich's hand, who tried to quickly transition into attack.
Yeah, not enough from either side there, I think, to deal with that free kick. From the East to get on top of it, and from West to get it cleared out. That ball bounced a couple times in the box.
Yeah, and again, in these early stages, no one's really kind of established comfortable possession. They're really going at each other. As we say, the pace is fairly quick at this minute in time, and they're both testing each other, trying to be a little bit more direct rather than settle it down and get that pass off. And that's what you expect in those initial early stages or exchanges, should we say?
Yeah, and it goes back to, you wonder what's the information that coaches are giving them before a game, what kind of game plan they've laid out. If they told them, let's go at this, let's make it exciting, let's try and go for the win right off the bat, or go for the goal right off the bat.
West have an opportunity. Good pass in the box, following on his run. Great finish there in the bottom corner. Now, haven't seen it. I think that's
Jaffa. Yeah.
Jaffa. I probably absolutely mullered his name, but excuse me, Jaffa. But I can say that was a great little bit of play there. Ball was laid back to him there. He played it into his front man, who has a little back heel, come flick, and he's continued his run into the box, and a great finish across the keeper, and perfect. That's exactly what you should do in that position, because obviously if the keeper gets a touch, you may get a deflection, comes back out, and get one of your other centre forwards to finish it in. But unneeded. Great finish in the bottom corner. 1-0 the West. Very early on, probably our earliest goal in an NSG game.
Yeah, again, very quick combination play, like you said earlier, with the West. Good combination play off of, I think that was Medina who laid the ball off for him to Jaffa to score. But great combination play as East goes right back down now. So we got ourselves a game, I'd say.
Yeah, a little bit of testy argy-bargy going on there in the corner, but he still manages to keep the ball, looking to put a ball in. Looks like a shot, deflection, rebound. And Ramos, which we talked about early in the game, has just found himself a poacher's goal in the box, bouncing around, couldn't get hold of it, the goalkeeper. We talked about Banic, and now it's 1-1 within a minute.
Yeah, action-packed. Wow, great goal, great kind of a goal scorer's goal there, right? Just get yourself in the right area, be on the hunt for the ball, and a finish there for, who we see Ramos there, again, number 10. Looks like it was created by Kaplan there. Ramos from Houston Dynamo, as we said earlier. Kaplan from SLSG, St. Louis Scott Gallagher there out of Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri. Created it, had that shot from distance that went off the post, and Ramos, just go get yourself a goal, young man.
Well, I mean, Jaffa, you didn't get enough plaudits, my friend. Before we got a chance to really talk up your goal, Ramos has stuck one in the back of the net at the other end, and all of a sudden it's just cancelled out. 1-1, and we're no longer than 9 minutes into this game.
Yeah, I'm still talking about West, and he's go back and score right away.
Wow. So the crazy thing is, Andy, we actually we spoke about Ramos early in the game. He looked lively, he looked exciting, he was wanting to be himself involved, definitely up for the game. Put the ball in the box, followed it in, and got himself a great poacher's goal. Credit to the player, and 1-1. 8 minutes in, I think we had our 2 fastest NSG goals. Talked about the fastest, we haven't got our 2 fastest.
Could be. I'll have to review the tapes.
You think there might be one quicker?
I don't think there is. I don't think there's one quicker. I know not in Arizona. I don't think in South Carolina. Though South Carolina was they scored pretty quickly as well. And obviously,
I'm feeling like 20 minutes in. We need to start keeping records. We definitely need to start keeping records. Obviously, we need to keep records for sure. But I'm throwing it out there. I think these were our 2 fastest NSG goals. So not only has the game been very testing early on, it's produced two good goals.
Yeah, and you look at the corner flag there, you see the wind blowing in the East favor. You think maybe that has a little bit to do with that shot. Maybe it just kind of took off on the keeper. That's how it found the post.
Definitely interesting. Did you notice that, Andy? Very interesting. The AR came on, counted the wall back.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting.
Never seen that personally, but great, something different. Ball in, goalkeeper picks it up very easily, looking for that quick early delivery forward. Nothing's on, and he's managed to roll it out into his number 6. I think that is number 20. I'm gonna have to catch up with my numbers here. Obviously. Was there a big tackle? I missed it while I was searching.
Right now, his looks like his second touch got a little bit ahead of him, created that opportunity for him to get emptied out there on the field.
And off they look to play. East on the ball, trying to shift it down the left-hand side.
So as we mentioned,
Ramos making himself available again. Sorry?
Then East in those wide areas, looking just off their formation and maybe exploit the wide areas a little bit more. West looking to control the middle of the field with the extra number in midfield.
And West are off again. It's the big man in midfield. He's had a little bit of action. He's got himself forward. I feel like he's playing in the 6th position, but he's managed to get himself in wide position. He's driven forward with the ball when he's had the opportunity. And again, he's starting off an attack here for the West. They've held it up in the corner on the left-hand side here, looking to deliver. Ball goes in, but straight behind. Not a great delivery there by Aranda. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Not Aranda, I don't think. It's Pipkin. My apologies.
Yeah, out of Rise.
And where is he playing out of, Andy?
Did Rise Soccer Club.
Okay.
East now a couple times where they're trying to play out of the back, play through that midfield. And as I say that, smash
been very direct, and Ramos is back on the ball again, making those runs into those the corners where the space is being exploited. Obviously, they're playing 3 at the back, so that will leave a little bit of width or a bit of space in the wide areas to kind of get yourself in and make some good runs. And he's done it on several occasions, but always making himself available for the ball. So very well done. But West pick up the ball and look to kind of shift it and work down his left-hand side. And Pipkin, again, once gone, shuffles past, trying to bully his way through, but No way. And back it goes to Pipkin. Pipkin looking to shift the ball across the field and does change the point of attack. I need to get a hold of the information of my sitting central midfielder for West. I think it's De Groot. I think I finally managed to catch the number on his back and decipher who it is. But he's been very involved. Looks like the big man in there trying to run the show.
That looks like De Groot. I think you're right, from LaRocca out of Utah. He's been on the field so far.
Yeah, LaRocca has a great program. Seen them as a club play a number of times and always produce one or two very, very good players. There he goes again. De Groot just gets himself, he picks up that tackle. So he looks like he's reading the play, but not what's very interesting as a number 6 is where he's playing in there. He's not just covering the very central areas. He's getting himself getting himself right across to the full width of the field. But not only that, he's been driving forward. I found him on the left wing early on in the game in the first 15 minutes, and he's trying to marshal that 6th position very well currently.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see his stats on just ground covered and the distance that he's traveling in this game, as it looks like he's putting in a lot of mileage.
Hopefully his legs will hold out for the game at the pace that he started at. Yeah. Action moving a little quickly for me to keep up with it. Looked like handball there, but referee, he's seen it. And it might have been goal scorer. Is that goal scorer? Schaffer, handball, maybe?
I think that might be Medina on the ball.
Medina.
The sister. The setup man.
Pipkin battling away. He's had a few little battles here on this left-hand side as he looks to try and put a ball down the line, but just out of play. Trying to find his big man Handley up front, but unable to do so. A few instructions by the coach here. I can see him in the bottom hand of our screen. Just trying to make a few small adjustments.
Yeah, you get that little pause in the game allows players to kind of reset and kind of gather themselves as East picks it up with miles of space in the middle of the field here.
And you know what? Whilst those instructions were just being made there, I was questioning why De Groot was so high up the field. It looked like the instruction from the coach was actually hadn't pushed up and allowed the East central midfielder to pick up some space in the midfield there and exploit it. Yeah, that was goal scorer on the ball there, I think. Now plays into Medina. Medina on the ball. We've just got a little pause in the action there. Just missed it there. But we're back. Handley on the ball, looking to shift it out.
Starting to see West on the ball a lot more right now and just kind of spraying it around as they've kind of pushed East back into their half. East a little bit more direct, playing through the lines there.
There they go, look to exploit those wide areas quickly in the transition.
Yeah.
So East trying to exploit the wide areas, a little bit more direct in transition. Looks like West is looking to just start to move the ball and find a little bit of comfort as the game starts to settle down. That initial nervous excitement, energy, those initial 10 minutes has started to subdue. Everyone looking for their second wind right now. They're a little gassed and again, hopefully things start to settle down.
Yeah. East on the ball now.
So Alleman in midfield looks very comfortable on the ball initially for the East, and he's actually tried to pick it up a number of times and look to move it. And here we go with Handley on the left hand side, trying to take a little run down the left hand side there and put the East under a little pressure, but great tackle there by I'm unsure, Andy. I think it's Monarch managed to get a quick little tackle in there, the right-sided centre half.
Yeah, and you mentioned Handley there, Handley out of Wisconsin. So interesting to me to see when you've got players coming from all over the place. A guy like Handley, be interested in hearing what kind of experience he has right now in a state that's probably colder, probably going through a rough winter at times. So how does he keep himself in shape? What kind of facilities is he playing in? Is he playing indoor most of the time? just this time of year, you never know. So, you know, as opposed to maybe somebody coming from Texas or the Southwest or the Southeast.
And again, it's very difficult and different to play on turf as it is to grass. And a lot of those winter states are now just starting to find themselves out on the fields and training again. Andy on the ball, try to shift it. Looks like they've got an opportunity in the box. He's trying to pick it up, trying to settle it down, but unable to do so. And East pick it up, looking forward, and a cheeky little ball forward into the wide man as it goes back. And they play forward, and again, they're looking to exploit those wide areas as they do. Ramos couldn't get hold of it, and West clean it up. Back to Banic in goal. Who'd again just very comfortable in possession. Unfortunate, I'm not sure exactly. We don't get the beauty of replays. We've got to work with the guys so we can get some replays, because I wanted to see what happened with the several deflections with the goal for Ramos. But with his feet, Banic has been he's been fantastic.
Been solid on the ball, and you just saw De Groot again on the dropping into that almost right back position before driving forward. So again, he's all over the place here as he's playing.
A bit of a loose ball by him there, though. He looks to win it back, and win it back he does. Back into midfield as they try to shift it out wide. Here, Pipkin back on the ball, and a little tackle there again by Alman. Oh, no, not Alman. Osborne, it looks like.
So Osborne out of Tulsa.
Hanley drops it off again. Looks like Hanley wants to be that point man where he just holds it up, drops it off, but then wants to exploit and run into those spaces as he does again. Is it not offside? Might have been. No. The referee says play on, ball in the box. Got a chance in there, and unable to get it under control. Is that Medina again? I think unable to pick it up or get it under control in the box there, but a good ball in from Handler.
Yeah, and they found him a few times now, so he's getting himself about the box in those areas.
Lays it back to Banic, who's, like we say, look, just very comfortable on the ball. He's not rushing anything. There he goes, pops it off, lays it off again. He's comfortable to have it back. Look, didn't even rush the kick. Look at this. Look, he's waiting for the man. He is very comfortable. I'd like to see him in practice in the five-a-side games. I'm sure he's the goalkeeper that you'd want on your side. You know, definitely cause some damage.
Definitely, I think he's that goalkeeper that every spectator is holding their breath a little bit when he's on the ball. But for him,
hey, he's comfortable. As long as he's comfortable, that's the only thing that matters. Okay.
Yep.
Definitely looking like a very modern goalkeeper. Long of the days of just smashing it up the field, even though that's a skill set that is needed. Perhaps in quick transition, you know, those times you still need to be able to deliver that ball over distance, but definitely looks comfortable under pressure in his area.
So would you say the game has slowed down, kept up the pace that we saw in those first kind of opening minutes? It seems like it's still a pretty rapid pace.
It's still a high pace, and I think it's a lot more controlled right now. And I think they had to. You know, I think guys are starting to get a little bit more familiarity as the game starts to move on, and as they're able to do that, they're able to kind of just, you know, find out what each other's strengths are, where they like to play, and find a little groove. And it looks like both teams are managing to do that. West look a little bit better in possession than East for sure. The group there, look, get his big toe in. Again, driving forward, drops a great ball into Medina. Medina had a good chance, opportunity, and that looks like two. Brilliant. De Groot again into Hanley. Hanley's obviously De Groot into Medina. Medina slipped a cheeky little chip into the middle there with Hanley in a great position, just a nod one in. 2-1, great goal there. And as we talked about it, we just said the West look a little bit more comfortable in possession. The East look like they want to be a little bit more direct, and he's there showing a little bit of love to his must be fellow teammates or family in the crowd there, lapping up this the big crowd that we have that you don't usually get to play in front of.
Oh, great finish there. I mean, great finish from or assist from Medina, like you said, cheeky little, just clipped it over the goalkeeper who came out. I originally thought it was going to be Medina's goal, looked like that was going in. So I'd be interested to hear from them whether he's
no, you can't take that away from Hanley. Not a chance. Not a chance. No. And Hanley wouldn't let you. And any good centre forward is not going to let anyone. Whoever puts it over the net, or puts it over the line first.
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking the questions here. You know,
give the lad a chance. Give the lad a chance. He's hungry for a goal, and he's got a goal. And you know what? He's slowly felt his way into the game. You know, we've mentioned his name a number of times more recently. Him and Medina, and finally he's got himself a goal. So 2-1, 2-1, Andy.
2-1. Great play, as you said. Run a play for West there, and you know who started that?
The group stepped onto it. He's actually, I don't know, is his size and he's on the ball again. There he goes. It kind of reminds me of Yaya.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, those
you know,
grinding
kind
runs forward into space,
yeah,
just going down the field,
gliding
player. Yeah,
gliding, just lumbering, but just smooth with it, getting the job done. Whether he's covering ground, I guess having those extra long legs gets him to cover a little bit more ground than everybody else.
I think that formation, a little bit of an extra man in midfield right now is benefiting West, as East can't quite build through. Anytime they've played through that middle of the field, they have had trouble. Whereas when they've played longer into their strikers, it's like a Ramos, they've done well.
Someone got a little slap in the face or tried to get a free kick, but he brushed it off very quickly. And very open here on the left-hand side for the East. They've got an opportunity to take on, but the group is back out there. I think no, it's not the group, is it?
I don't know that was the group. Great tackle there from center back though, out of the West. I think West made some changes just after their goal as well. So it looked like some substitutions made in the middle of the field. With I think it would have been, who was it here? With Rivera, who was one of the other center midfielders on the left-hand side, came off. He looked like he had a nice game on the ball a couple times, but they looking to switch it up a bit in the midfield from the West.
Right.
I think he was replaced by Lee. So Rivera out of Dallas, Texas goes off. Lee from Minnesota Thunder Academy
Big delivery in there. Long, high, far post. Nobody in there. And again, so we're seeing a trend, should we say, that the East is looking to exploit that space in the wide areas, obviously because the West are playing three at the back. The quality of ball in there hasn't been good enough, and then when they have had the opportunity to exploit that space, delivery in the box hasn't been quite what they require, you know. And solely only the opportunity that Ramos has had, they managed to get on the end of something. A little bit of quality now, they might have something to be able to unlock it.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we saw earlier that they've got enough in their individual talent and their ability to go forward to create something, and Ramos, I think, has enough about him to put himself in areas to score goals.
Yeah, he's made himself available early, but there's not been much service for him in his last 5, possibly 10 minutes. But there he is. He's trying to hustle the defender. Bad kick by Banic, unless he was trying to play out the back just there. I'm not sure it was. I think it was more of a missed kick.
This is Garcia on the ball out of Dallas, number 7, skipped away by East here.
It's Newbury. Newbury managed to skip, win the ball, and continue his run.
So again, Newbury out of Dallas as well. So you got two looks like two from the same club going up against each other in this game.
Always a little bit of it's always a little bit more competitive when you're playing once against one of your fellow teammates or friends. I remember playing against friends in training. Always gets more competitive, always gets a little bit more naughty, because you obviously want to beat them. You don't want to have them giving you problems after and telling you how much better they might have been than you in that session.
Yeah, definitely that. And I learned that the hard way. I think the first time I played against a cousin of mine in a game, and I went in a little bit soft, and he went in real hard. So.
Yeah, and Newbury there trying to Rabona pass, didn't come off. Definitely a little showboating.
Why not? That's Barry, it looks like, on the west-hand side out of Oklahoma Energy. For the East.
Ooh, great little tackle there. Great little flick around the corner, and off he goes. managed to change of pace, try to put the ball in box, got a second opportunity. Ramos picks it up, but unable to maintain control, and ball breaks away quickly with the West, but picked up again by Newbury, looks like, for the East, and then shifts it out to his right back, who looks now to play forward again. The change of pace, little change of pace in this last couple of minutes from the East. They look like they've got a little bit more energy. That they now again it's slowed all the way down. They had the West on the ropes there. They had an opportunity to keep probing and pressing them. They've dropped themselves all the way back now, and when they let the West get themselves set in a defensive position, they've been very hard to break down. East needed to utilize that good little moment or passage of play that they had to kind of break the West down.
Yeah, and it looked like they had an opportunity to go forward again. And like you said, it's just that one little difference. You play a sideways, backwards pass when you can go forward, when you can maybe make another probing ball, and it just allows the other team to kind of settle in. So West gets to settle in and push them back a bit.
Yeah, and as we analyze the game, I think we have to give the West credit for their defensive shape. We've been looking at the East, perhaps not finding the space to be able to play in. De Groot again on one of those long raking runs, just skipping past players, deliver it in. Look, might have been handball. No call from the West. Must have rebounded off of him and gone out for a goal kick. But he's definitely got bundles of energy, De Groot, in midfield.
Yeah, he finds those bursts, like you said, bursts forward when he gets a little bit of space in front of him, and he's caused a lot of problems.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying again, the defensive shape. When the East have allowed the West to get into a good defensive shape, they've struggled to break them down, and they've got to use those transition moments better instead of slowing it down and trying to play methodically through them, because it's been too difficult for them currently. West being outnumbered in midfield has caused problems for them.
Yeah, definitely. Though a good run here, and that's actually maybe their first spell where they were able to kind of build through that midfield and get something forward, though it goes out of bounds.
Definitely not being there though, but it looks like a lot of big players in this game. I can't determine the size, but it's hard to look on video sometimes. But there looks like some very big physical players in this game today, and guys are not frightened to use their bodies. Ball out wide now. Ramos has continued his run as he's laid it off, tried to go shoot across the keeper, almost got it through his legs, and Banic managed to just get a touch on it and get it out wide.
They must have
Was
called
it
him
offside?
Yeah, must have called him offsides there. It's a good combination from good movement off the ball from Ramos there to get around, but maybe just not timed quite right. But you've seen when he's on the ball, when he gets the ball a little bit, he's got something about him. He's got enough about him to turn the corner.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I was just noticing in that wider shot that we just had there, they've got like a second floor for the stands. Would have been perfect to watch the game. Would have been perfect. Great vantage point. I'm really disappointed that I missed out.
That would have been your spot all weekend.
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't have moved. I'd have been capturing goals.
Balcony. Darel Russell balcony, where you would have got all your videos, all your highlights there.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect
vantage point.
You in the morning, maybe somebody brings you your tea, your coffee in the morning, your lunches.
That time you should be bringing me a tea or coffee.
Not a chance.
Anyway, back to the action. West pick up the ball in a defensive position, mid-third, look to shift it forward. Again to De Groot, mentioned his name several times. He's been involved in so much of the action, definitely involved in the start of the play for the second goal, which has got the West 2-1 up currently. A goal there, though, an equalising goal initially by Ramos to get them back, the East back to 1-1, and Jaffa scored the first goal of the game 7 minutes in. So we're at a minute 2-1 to the West. But we had the East here probing again. Looks like it might have been an offside or out of bounds call. Looks like it's out of bounds. And Smith looks to make a throw in there. Long throw in, caught them all off guard. And again, it's rolled all the way into the front man there. Medina looks like he's got himself a free kick, and they get to reset and shift up the field again. Quick little free kick played off. West look to move it. And again into midfield.
This is Lee on the ball here for the West on the wide left-hand side. Dispossessed by Newberry, I
believe. Newberry back on the ball again. Shifting to Aylman. Now they find a little bit of space in midfield. Out wide again to the far side. That might have been Berry on the far side being chased down by Freyas. There you go, just trying to get on the ball again, West.
Medina crafty. I like Medina coming out. He comes and gets the ball. He gets himself in between players, picks up fouls, gets in behind guys. He's been involved in every goal that has been scored for West.
Yeah, I mean, he drops into that half space, making it really difficult for the East defenders to go and pick him up. And obviously, there might be a lack of communication from the East defenders into the midfielders to let him know that they're just on his shoulder. But he's picked up some fantastic positions and made himself very much available. Don't know if that's a change there up top for the West.
Looks like as Hanley came off.
Yeah.
I'll let you. That's number 21, and I'm gonna apologize in advance. Hecken Label from Vision Soccer Academy has come on for the West up top there.
I'll leave that with you, big guy.
You want to have a go?
Pass. Definitely.
Time to hit it.
Hecken Liable.
Master of the English language.
Definitely not. I struggle, even though it's my mother tongue. Good tackle there. Good, robust tackle. Little flick over there from defense. And out he comes with the ball on the the right-hand side here I'm talking about. My apologies. Great little outside ball inside. They got an opportunity. Again, when they break quickly, they get a chance to open it up and ball again. To slow it down too much, giving the West the opportunity to get themselves back behind the ball once again. They had a great opportunity to exploit the space on the far side and didn't take it, but they're trying again down the left-hand side. And I think it's Berry on the ball, works himself or earns himself a throw in deep in the West's defensive third.
Yeah, you've said it a couple times now where you break in, you've got numbers, you're in behind their midfield, go at the guy, create something. This is, it's national selection game. You've got a big crowd, create an exciting moment, especially these attacking players. You're on the field to create and score goals. So go at the guy. It's maybe 2 times the East has probably slowed it down in the wrong moments.
Yeah, and then with Frias again, or Frias. And a great little run by the substitution coming with those fresh legs. Just slayed it inside and out. Good tackle by the East. Then was needed a last-ditch tackle there from the oncoming Medina again.
Yeah, maybe a little bit soft on the layoff there. Could have put it, maybe timed it, let him run a little bit longer, and then put it into space. But good defending.
Yeah. And again, now you see it again, when they actually play quickly, the East, they get the opportunity just a little bit too far ahead of Newberry there. But if Ramos, I think it was Ramos that might have played that ball. If Ramos made that ball a little bit better, Newberry would have been in down on the outside and they would have had another opportunity. So they need to utilize their transitional play far better than they have been. And hopefully that'll be something that we see better in the second half.
Something I think you'll notice in life maybe on the East there as they go again at the West is that high guy on their press shutting the line and forcing the West to have to play a long ball inside.
Big ball into the box, deep but well headed out. Only as far as Newberry, who tried to make a quick turn, might have earned himself a corner.
Saying Newberry's name a lot. He's gotten himself around the field here on the right-hand side at least.
Yeah, he definitely looks exciting, and anyone that's going to try a Rabona pass in a game of this type of magnitude, for him, He's got to have a lot of confidence about him. He's got to have a little bit of confidence, a little bit of arrogance. I don't mind that at all. So obviously, we want to try and see if we get him on the ball a little bit more and utilize some of that ability that he must have.
Throw in, gets flipped on.
Scruffy clearance, but gets himself into the Hagen. Oh, the new. Is that correct?
Hacken label.
You're right. I'm looking at the wrong number 21. My apologies.
I'm gonna save that video clip there.
His friends must call him Hecky. I'm gonna reduce him down to Hecky today. As far as we go, I've given him the nickname Hecky. The group back on the ball. It's been a little while since we've mentioned his name, but he might have been getting a little bit of a rest. He definitely expended a lot of energy. Ball in the box, a little bit scruffy by the keeper, but gathers it back up again as he just waves it on and rolls a nice little ball out into his midfielder or a centre back, I think. Got buried there, tried to slide a ball down the line, but unable to do so. Ball back won by the West as they try to restart the action. Looking to come out this. No 6 in play, but they go all the way back to centre back, who looks now to shift it out to the left-hand side. And he manages to that, but Newbury back in the action again, picks up a ball and gets it back into his midfield. And again, East with that slower restart when they regain the possession, trying to be slow and methodical with it. But again, it allows the West to get themselves back into position. A longer raking ball forward. I think it surprised the big man up top, caught him on the side of the face. And Hecky's on the ball. I'm utilizing his new nickname.
Gotta normalize it. Yep, that's Garcia who's just delivered there. Garcia out of Dallas. He's one of those substitutes that came on for West. Oof.
I think he caught a little bit of turf or took a little bit of ground with that clearance there.
You caught an edge. You use your newfound snowboarding terminology there.
He caught an edge. Yeah, definitely caught an edge of boot there.
Lee on the ball.
Mason at the back there, shifting it out. Banich with an unfamiliar. Actually, well, we say unfamiliar. 2 of his longer passes have been a little bit definitely good in the shorter range, but he's let a couple of loose ones when he's had to deliver over a long distance.
Yeah, like that he's looking for, but just a couple. I wonder if the wind got away there.
Again, it's difficult to know how much the wind was playing a factor. The word from the crew, though, that it was a good 25-mile-per-hour winds for the game, so it definitely would have an effect on the ball and how it plays. Berry on the ball, tries to lay it back, but it's too soft back to his left back. Ball gets played in. Hecky on the run outside wide again, chops it inside, Megs the player, goes on again, looks to slide the ball across the box. Took one too much touch. I think he's overdone it. No, De Groot slipped one in. He's got himself in the box again. How is this man covering as much ground as he is covering right now?
He's got
fantastic goal there.
He's got wheels on the bottom of his boots right now as he's covering that ground. Got to give credit to Hecky there. Got to give credit to Hecky for creating that a little bit seemingly out of nothing with his back turn. Good feet, Meg's the defender, and is able to draw the keeper over before he slots in De Groot. So great finish, great run. 3-1 West.
Wow. I mean, look, so it's a sloppy ball there by Berry on the left-hand side. Picked up, and then the work that Hecky's done there, he's Meg the defender, gone past. I actually thought he had overdone it in the box and had another opportunity, but his patience paid off, laid a great ball across the box to De Groot, and how De Groot's managed to get himself that deep in the box from a 6th position is, credit to himself and his work rate. Don't think he gets tired.
No, it's one of those you just got to make the runs. Eventually it pays off. He might make that run 10 times in a game, never get the ball, or get it once and finish it like he did.
Yeah, no, look, I want to make this point because in the early stages of this game, we pointed out and we noted a number of actions that happened early in the game with certain players. and those players seem to familiarize themselves or become, familiar names in the game and familiar names in the action. And this just goes back to my point: is you need to really start a game the best you possibly can. You can't just wait to feel yourself into it. You've got to go all out from the outset. And it's not hard to notice a player, especially when you're getting scouted by college coaches. They're looking for these small little details all the time that's going to be, presenting yourself in the best light you possibly can be.
Yeah, 100%. And even if maybe you're, we question positioning at certain times and where you're putting yourself, if you're getting noticed, for the right things, the right reasons, a coach is going to know, hey, I can work with this kid because look at the work rate he's put in, look at the miles he's put in. Maybe he's not perfect, but I can work with him. I can mold him into my system.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, just even, sprinting to close a player down, that gets noticed. It's all those small little parts, those tiny little details. I mean, the scouts watch hundreds of games all the time, and they're looking for something different. They're looking for that player that they can trust. They know what they're going to get from him.
And even like a guy like we've noticed Newberry now a couple of times, just the way he puts himself about, the way his presence on the ball, his presence about him is.
Medina again. Whoa, that might have been a penalty.
Shouts for PK? No shouts for PK.
Ooh.
Oh, he might have been offside.
Offside?
I think they're calling for offside.
I think it was. If it wasn't offside, I think that would have been a definite PK. We have no VAR here to bring it back to justify whether it was offside or not, and whether it could have been a penalty or not.
So, I think he got there right, got to the ball right before the defenders there, and he paid the price for it.
No, without a doubt.
Big tackle, big slide there.
And Mason stepped up onto the plate, just being clean and quietly gone about his business well at the back there. Ball back to Banic. Never in a rush. Slides it out to the far side now as they try to advance on the right-hand side. First time I've seen a ball in, and it looks like Hecky's made a run. He's been working on that right-hand side. It's been a problem for the East on the right-hand side. The group back in the ball. He was just there defending a second ago, and now he's making a run into the box again.
Hecky combining there. This is Garcia on the ball, picking it up under control, plays forward. You like to see that from a center midfielder.
Yeah. Medina back on the ball, shifts it out wide.
Good movement from the West.
Ball in, well defended. I haven't been able to catch the big man's name at centre-back for the East. Just made a little bit of scruffy clearance just then, but I think he's gone about his job. I think it's Dal Hart, I'm unsure, and that looks like half-time there. And he's gone about his job very quietly and, comfortably. So, well, without a doubt, probably the most action-packed NSG first half that we've been witness to. 3-1.
3-1. 4 goals and a half. I don't think we've seen 4 goals in one half.
I mean, look.
Add them to the record books.
I actually wish I didn't know the scoreline, because as exciting as 3-1 is, I would be buzzing about what's going to be happening in this second half. But we're hoping there's going to be lots of action.
If you like goals, stay tuned for the second half of the national selection here in Texas.
No, but let's review that first half. I mean, it was it definitely started out electric. Both teams trying to feel each other out, very scrappy, not particularly pretty at times. But then 2 early goals, almost out of nowhere. But again, both teams were probing each other with fairly direct play. And once those 2 goals went in, it looked like everyone just settled down after about 10, 15 minutes and started to play. And the game became a little bit more controlled at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, a little bit more controlled after maybe they got the nerves, or they figured out the wind, or they figured out kind of just each other's roles on the field. You see those battles forming, but obviously we've mentioned DeGroot a lot, and maybe he's helped the West as far as just pinning the East in, keeping the West on the attack, making those driving runs forward. The East, enough about them to to cause problems in spells, though I guess you got to give the nod, obviously, in possession and in goals scored and the metrics that matter, to give that nod to the West right now.
Yeah, I think the East needs to work better in transition. That's their opportunity to break the West down. The West seems very organized, and they've managed to figure out a good chemistry between them defensively and probably in possession of the ball. But the East have a lot of damage that they can cause when it comes to transitional moments. But I think they need to understand that they need to really continually press and exploit that transitional moment rather than slow it down and allow the West to get themselves back into a good shape and a structure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like you said, when you give West a chance to organize themselves, I think it's Hansen from Utah Avalanche, been one of the center backs for the West, has done a nice job just keeping the East forwards turned and backs to the goal. I think Hans Hansen. I'm not sure who the other one was. We'll have to see. And it's interesting to see maybe what changes they make. Obviously, there'll be some substitutions as well in the second half, more substitutions, but see if maybe the coaches elect to kind of change up the formation or what kind of information they've given their players, especially on the East side, to see what they can do to get back in the game and get that next goal.
Yeah, and I'm just looking into the crowd on the far side. I noticed some extreme yellow, sweat tops or jerseys over there. I'm trying to guess what team that might be because there's a couple of teams that have those extreme ones.
I think that's that BDB group.
Okay.
Always rocking the loud jerseys out there.
Yeah, definitely get picked out in the crowd very easily. If they cause any problems, we can kick them out. We know where to identify them and get rid of them. But no, the crowd looks like it's fantastic there. I'm really liking what I'm seeing behind the goal with that second level. Love to watch a game from an elevated position. Gives you a better perspective, So I'm sure everyone in the crowd were enjoying it because there looks like great seating and a great spectacle. So we've got the second half underway. Yeah, second half underway. We're here with Darel Russell and Andy Coverstone. Hopefully trying to help you along with some of the action that's going on in this game. And it's our fourth NSG game. 3-1 halftime to the West. West ahead. The action went West 1-0 up. East equalized. This both happened in the first 8 minutes of the action. And then the West have kind of edged their way forward now, and it's 3-1.
3-1 action-packed, like you said, here in Texas, here in Round Rock, Texas, just north of Austin for this game. A little bit of wind a factor, but a great level of play so far.
Just noticed Handley looks like he's popped himself back on the field. It looks like they might have gone with Hecky and Handley now, just to try and mess me up name-wise, but...
H&H out there right now.
H&H, yeah.
Hyman out of Rail, Colorado, the right back for the West. This looks like that's your Newberry. Is that Newberry who's moved over to the left-hand side for East?
Yeah, I was just going to catch up because there looks like some new faces being introduced into the action. I was just catching up with everyone's name in the first half, and now I'm going to have to reset my my mental. I think
that's Pipkin back on, or
yeah, that looks like Pipkin back on. And again, Dow Hart, is it Dow Hart? I think for the East, like I said to you in the first half, quietly went about his job well.
We saw him just pointing there, kind of organizing the back line. So he's taken on that kind of organizational leader role for the East, perhaps.
Yeah. Yes, Pipkin got the ball in hand, looking for someone to throw it into. Doesn't look like he wants to throw it, but no, he throws it all the way back to his left-sided centre half. I think it might be, but a scruffy ball through, but a little touch there by Handley, but unable to get a good enough touch to direct it into Hecky. And on the outside here, we've got Newbury on the ball, driving forward.
Looks like that took a
Ramos in the box now. He's doing his best work in the box. Puts it across. It's tapped in. but again, it might be offside. Ramos is always playing on the last defender. He's just a little bit, just over the line at the minute. He's just getting a little bit too far. I think he's got enough pace, enough speed that he doesn't need to take that risk as much as he is doing, and might have a little bit more success. There's 2 opportunities had now that he's got himself in great positions in the box, but been offside.
Yeah, it's just probing. He's probing. He's trying to just time it just right. And they unfortunately spent on the wrong end. As you saw on the east there, it's a good tackle from Newberry. Maybe getting looking for a foul there. But the east, that number 2 up on the right hand side, that is, from what I understand, the only U15 player who made an appearance in this game. So that's a Vaquero out of Albion Hurricanes. So one of the only U15 player playing in this national selection game.
Well, I haven't heard that name for a very, very long time, but there was a fantastic player back in the, I'm going to say maybe in the 90s, Vaquero, that played for Barcelona, one of the best one-touch players I've ever seen, and had the experience of training with on several occasions. And so let's see if he lives up to the name of Vaquero. It's definitely a pedigree in the game of soccer for sure.
Yeah. He's breaks out here. I don't think that's him on the ball. Now it is him on the ball here. Looking to play over the top.
Oh, little shoulder there. That by Newberry.
Newberry, yeah, just come in and a little bit of a clip maybe.
He's definitely not fazed by it. He's run off and left someone crumpled on the floor, but he's just brushing it off. Not sure who it was.
Like it might be Jaffa back in the game, or Medina playing in that midfield and dropped in.
Big ball forward there by actually Pipkin's back on the ball now on a left-hand side, plays it in. Is that Hecky on the ball? Hecky again makes someone. Looks like he likes to slide a ball in between players' legs in that action, on the move, for sure. The group demanding the ball.
West really.
Smith just looking to shift it. They're being very patient. And again, they have no need to kind of really attack and risk anything at this point. They're 3-1 up, so they can be a little bit more patient and methodical about everything that they do. The action is obviously definitely, or the onus is on the East to get themselves back in the game.
So they're having trouble right now, as I think West is really establishing themselves in that East half. They haven't been able to come out too far, and maybe
Great diagonal ball, great save, great diagonal ball. Dalhart with the clearance, good little header. I think it's Hecky that might have headed that in the far post. Difficult ball to defend, just over your shoulder, and almost there 4-1.
And that's a good save produced from the East goalkeeper.
I'm just trying to catch up with a few names right now. Like Freeman there was delivering that ball in the box. Stepped onto the play again. Here we go. With Garcia. Unable to find a way through. The group stretching at Ramos, but Ramos gets away from him, try to make him, but the group gets back to it and gets the better of the 2 as he looks to try and shift the ball forward, but unable to do so cleanly, and picked up by the East. Tackle from behind and gets away with it. He did get a nick on the ball, but referee waves play on. A couple of little tasty passages of action right there. Wonder if it's getting a little bit testy out there, but again, Handley looks to spin into that space where he does all his best work in behind, but I thought it was Newberry, but no, it's not. Handley just slowed him back up, gets across. Great tackle there. Could have been a penalty, but no, got all ball, and away we go. And East look to go and move the action. Again, they slow it down when they don't need to, and now they're giving the opportunity for the West to get themselves back behind the ball, but they break some lines. and it's a poor ball out to the right-hand side there. Looks like, I'm unsure who, but it might have been Osborne looking to play a ball. A little confusion between himself. My apologies. It wasn't Osborne, it was Frias.
It's a good tackle. Looked like Walsh from Eclipse out of Chicago. Walsh on that last kind of defensive stand there for the East. And like you said, it slowed it down when they didn't need to slow it. So just kind of, at first they were having troubles getting numbers forward earlier on. I think when Ramos lost the ball earlier. Now when they did have numbers forward, choosing to slow it down a little bit too much. So just trying to pick their moments a little better, when to go, when to slow it down.
Yeah, and I mean, look, when they get a chance to watch this game back, it's a fantastic learning experience. Like, could I have done more in that moment to really put the opposition to the test? And it's going to be, it's great. Getting games filmed and videoed, and get yourself to see yourself back in this caliber of game against against the high level of player that you have, and actually see how can I improve myself. There's nothing better.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're still very much in this game, and we've seen plenty about them to be able to get themselves back in, get a goal, go forward. They've got quality on the field for sure. Just haven't been able to kind of organize and link up as well as the West has.
Several fake attempts at the throw on. Frias on the ball, try to get himself a clean touch, but unable to. Obviously, put under a little pressure by the West defender there, and it's a new goalkeeper in for the West. Do you have some updated action?
It's like Mayhew out of Dallas Texans. As East pouring a little pressure on here.
Pressing high up the park. Newbury tries to get himself in, gets the block in. Only as far as though the West's central midfielder, as they look to make an exchange there. Looks like Jaffa is playing in central midfield now. I think he was playing at right back in the first half.
Jaffa for the West would have been the first goal scorer.
The first goal scorer. It looks like he's playing in central midfield. He definitely looked like he was maneuvering in those central areas. But we'll try and get a little bit more confirmation on that as we move into this half. Dal Hart plays the ball into his midfield. Able to shift it out. They change the point of attack. Newbury clips a ball forward, trying to search for Ramos. He had a lot more space to deliver it out in this left-hand side, but opted to go a little bit too central and was cleaned up tidily by the West central defender. I think it might be Smith. Newbury getting himself in a little tangle.
Better from the East now as they've gotten forward a few times here.
Yeah, and you wonder if the West has got a little bit complacent because they are up. The East definitely need the action, and they need to get themselves in attacking positions. Little confusion there for Fruit. I think it's Frias.
Frias on the left-hand side here for the East.
Yeah, he's found himself on both sides right now. He's trying to get himself. He's trying to make something happen. He's working definitely hard, and he's trying to make something happen. A little frustrated.
You got about a mile of space here on the outside there. It's a lot of ground to cover out of bounds for a ball.
As the action comes back into focus, ball shifted out to the left-hand side. Good touch by Hanley as he's trying to chase it into that corner. He's going to get there. No, well covered over.
Good first touch from Hanley into space there to use his speed, it looks like, to get around.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got to give credit to the West. They've had some dangerous attacking players. They've had Handley, Medina, Hecky. There's three of them. They've got that combination of all three that they can maneuver. They look like they've all combined well with each other, and they've had all combinations play together so far. Let's just hope Hecky doesn't mind us calling him Hecky.
But if he didn't have that nickname before, he does now. I can tell you that much.
That's for sure. Definitely simplifies it.
That's how he signs all his autographs, I heard.
A little too close there by the group, but he finds himself in the right-hand corner. I'm not sure if there isn't a blade of grass that the big man hasn't covered today. I think he hadn't covered that bottom corner, so he decided he needed to get in there.
Coloring the field in right now. He's coloring the whole field in.
I think he made himself a challenge. I'm going to cover every blade. Look, he's all the way over there now. He's on the left-hand side. I just covered 70 yards in the last 10 seconds there.
Yeah, you could argue showing a little bit too tight in areas at times, where you could get the ball maybe, 15, 20 yards away, still in space. And some of these midfielders have gone maybe 5 yards away instead. And it could be a little bit tight at times, but it's worked for him.
Great point. Without a doubt, great point. But definitely got bundles of enthusiasm to be on the ball, playing again there, just shifting it. Definitely enjoying his game.
Good balance now.
Ball forward. Testing. No, goalkeeper a little bit scruffy with it, but cleans it up.
I think we're going to have hopefully we can get some stats on this game, because I'd be interested in seeing how many times you've said scruffy now during this watch.
I said it a little bit.
If we could get a ticker, if we could get maybe a counter or something just to keep track of scruffy.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'm going to ban myself from using it anymore today.
Nah, you're fine. Don't second guess yourself.
So I'm going to leave. I'm just looking at some of the stats of the game actually right now. So I'm going to leave you to continue with the action, but I'm going to kind of hopefully pull up some good stats on the actions of this game.
Yeah, it's kind of turning into a midfield battle at the moment. There's not too many chances or half chances come off here in the second half. The West looking to break quickly through the middle of the field, covered up by the East.
And we've got all the stats on this game, via Huddle and Y-Scout. Bundles of information I'm trying to scroll through whilst we're playing.
Great information from Y-Scout. This is Vaquero on the ball, looking to lay it off. He said he's the only U15 player in this U16, U17, U15 game. But yeah, that Y-Scout report, great reporting. I think about 24 pages of stats and information just from a single game. So really cool way to kind of break down performances, individual and player and team-based stats. But obviously Huddle, the camera that's being used, and the platform being used to record the games. As West gets in behind here, that's Hackey goes down.
I missed some of the action there.
Must be another offside call. So again, could have been shouts for a PK, but Hackey in behind, a little early, offsides, and East with a giveaway to allow West to stay in.
So that's 3 penalty calls that would have probably been legitimate penalties if it wasn't for the fact that the boys have been offside. But Handley on the ball there, deep in the final third. I think he was looking for a free kick, but it was just a bad touch. He got himself caught pretty solidly on the ankle there. I think he may be struggling. He tried to get himself up, and he's, that one when you try to stand up and you realize that the pain has just kicked in, and he's just rolled himself over. No one wants to leave the action today. You don't want to leave this game from a kick, and cameraman's come off camera. I don't know if he's trying to make sure he's saving his blushes right now. Good work by the cameraman.
Cut away.
Cameraman's cut away from the action, so we can't really see whether he's picking himself up. And Handley looks like he got a little kick on the end.
He'll do everything to stay in the game, especially since he's looked dangerous here. Second half, he's kind of forced the issue a little bit more than he did in the first half, maybe trying to turn the corner and get behind. So he's searching for that goal, or that second goal, I'm sure, for him in this game.
Yeah.
Trying to take home the Golden Boot award.
I mean, everyone wants to score in a game like this. Why wouldn't you?
A multi-goal game from anybody in our national selection games yet.
What do you mean a multi-goal game?
Has anybody scored two or three goals in a game?
Oh, you mean the same player?
Individual player. We 1-1 in South Carolina, I believe, before we went to PKs.
I don't think there has been. I don't think there has been, and that's why I'm saying we need to start to keep some stats on these games, because there's definitely going to be obviously some points of action.
Oh, he's off. He's still struggling there off the field, looking like he's getting treatment from one.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to make a substitution for him for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully he was all right and he recovers, because obviously he's got, he would have had to play several games after that with the rest of the showcase. So, we just hope that he does recover from that quickly and he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like they've brought Medina in now from FC Dallas to kind of fill in at this moment.
Yeah, every time I see this shot and I can see that second floor, I'm trying to pick out a table and a chair where I would be sat and plotting myself up next time we're down in Austin. Keep eyeing a couple of good ones, a couple of good spots on that second floor. But back to the action. Ball helped on into Hecky. Hecky can't get hold of it and picked up by the East. They shift it back to the goalkeeper. Dow Hart makes himself available deep, and they shift it way out to the right-hand side there. And forward they come with the action.
East needing to get forward and start sending players forward more, as they got to try to find a way to create something here and get back in the game.
Ball into midfield. Ramos gets hold of it, drops it off again.
Maybe a little bit more urgency from them in these moments. There's a good run forward there from Stiglitz in the midfield here for the East.
Yeah, and so something interesting stats wise while we're just there and the action's playing right now. Just keep an eye on anything that might be happening. Ramos there again, battling in the box, cleaned up by Smith. So the statistics in the first half ended up the East 46% possession, West 54. But an interesting statistic that which kind of it peaked for the West in the early stages of this half at 59%, but then dropped off massively. And the East have had a little bit more better because they've had the lion's share possession in these last few moments, and it's kind of changed the ebb and flow of the game has definitely changed possession wise. We've got an opportunity here. Medina Scuffy off the post and back into the. Oh wow! Sorry, so I was talking in the middle of the action there, but Medina has found himself another piece of action as he's replaced Handley up top. And as I said to you before, you've got Hecky, Medina, Handley have caused a huge amount of problems for the East up top. Three of them in any combination is dangerous.
Yeah, I think Medina definitely wants to have that one back, as that ball looked like it just kind of came off the inside of his ankle there, as it might have hopped up on him and didn't catch it cleanly and just rolled a little bit softly off the post there. But wishing he had that one back right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said to you, any coach would have problems selecting which one of it's like the Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe combination. They've got that kind of options up top for the West right now.
Gotta have them on the field. There's too much money tied up in that trio right there. All the sponsorship dollars that they're bringing in for this West team. You gotta keep them on the field.
Yeah, no, but the coach done well to find a combination that's worked at the right time in this match for them.
Yeah.
Picked up in midfield.
And that's Garcia, who's kind of quietly put himself about and gotten on the ball quite a bit for the West here. He's had a lot of space to play in for sure, but he's been on the ball quite a bit there in the central midfield. As this is Moore from Utah Avalanche, that's number 24 for the East. You've got Walsh from the Eclipse on the ball. Newberry. Turn out of it. Garcia again here for the West.
They're trying to be patient in everything they do right now. Again, they don't need to go and score.
Sorry, Joe. You mentioned kind of a drop-off in possession for the West at a certain point here on your stats. Any thoughts on where that comes from, why that is? Or
I just think it's complacency. You're 3-1 up. Again, remember, the game is psychological. Both teams started out electric, but you're 3-1 up. you don't have a need or a drive to actually go and have to score another goal at this point. You're winning the game. So you can be a little bit more calculated, and you can actually wait for your opportunity, and be a little bit more passive, should we say. And they have, but right now they've got a great passage of possession, that they're keeping the ball, and they're not rushing anything, trying to find a little bit of space, trying to tire the East out, and East is struggling to get back possession right now again.
They've been pinned in and unable to get forward, as we said, with numbers.
Yeah, and we've probably got like 20, probably 20 passes right now, 20, probably moving into 25 range right now, and they haven't lost possession. They've been really patient with it, never rushed.
And at a certain point, that's just, when you're down, disheartening when you're on the other side of it, having to chase the ball around for long stretches of a game.
Yeah, but also the East have dropped so far off right now. They have no one pressing in those higher positions. And again, they've just tried to get themselves behind the ball and keep a good shape. But they're struggling to get themselves together as a group to press. You can't press as ones and twos. You need to press as a team, especially with the level of quality of player that's playing in this type of game. They can maintain possession. We're probably knocking into 30 passes to get the ball, and it's fantastic possession by the by the West, and a kind of an unnecessary ball just played forward there. They've kept all of that possession to kind of then put a ball that's kind of a hopeful ball forward is totally unnecessary by the West there. But that was the only way that they've kind of regained back possession now, and they've got their opportunity to restart the ball.
Yeah, and I think that last kind of picture, that shot that you saw with Ramos going forward to try and press the ball, and it was a wide shot on the camera, but he's the only East player you see going forward, or even in the shot there. It kind of tells you, like you said, that the amount of space that's available to the West in those deeper areas, and the inability of East maybe to get forward in pairs and kind of hunt as a pack to press together. You got one guy kind of trying to track the ball down, and it's just, it's made things easy for the West right now.
So let me make a little interesting point here. And it's just something I've just noticed now. When you try and take small details from the game to see what might be happening, and they've just made substitutions. I don't know if you noticed at the bottom of the screen there, the East made some substitutions. Well, what the West actually did, they made several substitutions halfway through the first half. So again, a lot of their players may not have been as fatigued as perhaps they could have been, because they've rested halfway through that half. Whereas on the flip side, the East had everyone, and they made changes, perhaps more so some of those changes at halftime, and some of the players that have been playing longer periods of time are now fatigued and unable to get close to people, and that might be a factor in terms of how they've kind of rotated it in the different tactical substitutions, the way that they've utilized that kind of side of the game.
Yeah, could be. And you got to think as well, when you send those substitutions in, you're not only sending in fresh legs, but you're sending in information as well, and maybe some changes and some things that you're observing as a coach, that you're sending those subs in to kind of relay information how you want to play.
Yeah, and I think you've just seen. I just saw Vaquero. It looked like just corralling his team, and trying to say to them that we need to get a little bit tighter there. His arm gestures, and you said that he's probably the youngest in the group out there.
So here's some subs coming in for the West now.
So tactical change.
Hansen back on alongside Winia. Two defenders in there. You wonder if maybe they're adding another defender in just to kind of solidify that back line.
Just running across, catch up with some of these names. 18.
See Ailman for the East there from Wichita, FC Wichita in the middle of the field. Vaquero number 2 on that far side.
Have you got a name for number 18 for me?
On the West.
Mm-hmm.
That's Rivera from Dallas Texans Academy.
Okay.
Looks like Barry, number 7, back on for the East on the left side.
He definitely put a bit more pace on that ball this time. You know, he got punished for a soft ball that he played in the first half, which was latched onto by Hecky. Ball in the box again. Opportunity just misses. Followed up and slashed at it. Woo. They had another opportunity there.
I think that was Stiglitz who just clipped that ball in, just dropped it in on top of the 6 there for the West. Man, you want to finish those.
Yeah, I don't have a name for who slashed, unfortunately, at that one.
I'm sure he's happy to hear that. he's not bothered with you not being able to come up with a name there.
You want me to be singing his name if he gets it in lights, though.
Yeah.
Obviously, let's just see how the game settles in with these last changes. You know, as we're into that last quarter of the game. I mean, you know what? Considering we didn't watch the game live, it's been really interesting just to watch it, you know, via the video with kind of no precursor to seeing anyone, not tainted by any emotions of the actual match itself, and we're just watching it just as it was, as it happened, and it looks like a very good game, exciting, enjoyable without a doubt. And I got another opportunity here. The West, Hecky trying to let it go through the legs, left foot shot, well blocked, pops into Medina. Medina can't get it down to settle, couldn't get it to settle, and another opportunity, and they're still creating chances. West are still creating chances. We haven't seen the East in the final third of the West's defensive half for a long period of time right now. And a scrub.
Giveaway. Oh, but Hecky gets it tangled under his legs there. Go back to that chance. I think Medina just a little bit too casual on his touch in the box there, a little bit unsure of what he wanted to do with the ball, electing to just let it kind of hit off his chest rather than really attack it.
Yeah, I think he might have been. I think he was more surprised that he found himself in that space in the box when the ball arrived at him.
Yeah.
Little Cruyff turn as he looks to move out. Ball into Berry on the left-hand side. Shifts it down the line. Lay off, back to Berry. No, not back to Berry, my apologies. Back to Frias, I think it is.
I believe that's Ailman, number 8.
Ailman.
Yeah.
That's Baquero chasing across midfield.
You've seen, I think, Ramos out then.
Yeah, Ramos came out in when the exchange of subs. There was several subs at the same time. He popped out then. Ball back into Medina in acres of space. It's in.
Must be offsides. Looked like he was a little just a half yard behind the last defender there, but acres of space is right. Lots of space.
He finds himself in great little positions off the shoulder of defenders all the time. He's either in a pocket of space or he's off on your shoulder, causing you a problem. So his movement has been fantastic. Got to really he's been at the heart of a lot of the good attacking plays from the West.
Yeah, and unselfish when he needs to be. Goes to goal when he needs to. I mean, just it's created a lot for them.
Garcia back on the ball. He's been very, very industrious with his play today. Back on it again. Garcia taking some of the strain off of De Groot, but De Groot's still moving around. He's not had a break yet this game and has covered every blade of grass. Great little slip through Medina with a great run again, trying to cut across and offside again, I'm assuming. They pull the action up. I mean, his movement is so clever in behind. Always available, always looking for it, always putting a defender to the test. Asking a question of them: are you going to follow me, or are you going to worry about the ball?
see him shutting it down, just kind of shutting the wide man down too when he presses. So he's got an idea of what he's wanting the East to play into. So that's Hagen from Lone Star just on the ball.
My memory serves me correctly, Lone Star is out of Austin.
No comment.
Am I wrong?
But I'm sure there'll be comments from plenty of people if you're wrong there. That's a proud state that you're making claims about. I'd be careful.
I better keep quiet now. I'm feeling very nervous about my geography right now. And the silence means that I must be terribly wrong. Anyway, back to it.
West still searching, still going forward. Creating opportunities, even though they're up 3-1 right now here in Texas. Great crowd, great facility. Makes you kind of wish you were able to be there live at the game. Just watching it back right now, I mean, it's as good as it looks on these cameras, and as good as a breakdown you can get and everything. Would have loved to see this in person at field level.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they've got barriers. Yeah. Might have been another pitch invasion.
Yeah,
the action's been held off of the field. The action has been held off. We've got barriers, so people can't get too tight to the action as they have done on several of the last games. But always enjoyable for I shouldn't say it, but always enjoyable for the fans to join on the field. You know, the guys have loved it, I'm sure, when they've celebrated. But unfortunately, you can't get close to this one.
You heard it here, folks. Darel Russell encourages pitch invaders on the field.
No, I definitely did not.
No. Great setup. Great setup, as I think this is one of 2 stadium fields that they had out the complex out there, kind of back to back. So great place to play and to put on these kinds of events for the players, for the boys.
And the action's kind of died down a little bit. It's a little bit subdued, you know. But you know, fully expected.
It's coming in spurts here, as you see West at times just getting in behind and creating 2 or 3 chances. It's coming spurts, whereas you know East really needing to do a little bit more to force the issue and try to create something. And the onus is really on them to create. West is kind of good with keeping the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the West is keeping the ball for long periods of time now when they are in possession of it. And I'm sure the East are fatigued chasing it and you know, a little disheartened. But I mean, there have been some good showings of some of the players on the East. You know, Ramos has done very well. Dal Hart, very clean at the back. You know,
Newbury,
very unfortunately with his pass that cost him. Hagen has done well. It's just like you know, and again, it's great talent on display. And young men confident in themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think you come out of this game. You know, obviously, if you're in the East, you want to be on the winning side and you want to showcase. But I don't think anybody comes out of this game disappointed necessarily. I mean, just a great experience all around for all of these players.
I think this is the youngest national selection game across the board we've had in terms of a squad of players, and without a doubt, the quality hasn't been. You know, you might question, say, oh well, the quality might not be. They've still got a year or 2 of development left in them, but no, the quality has been exactly the same as it has been across the board for all the other games. Ball in behind there, chased down by Hagen. think he's going to go get himself a corner.
That ball come from Stiglitz out of the midfield, I think. Stiglitz out of Solar, number 3.
I was looking at them finally exploiting some of that space like they were doing in, you know, the mid and early part of the first half where they were trying to play into those corners where the space is. And it's been a little while since they've been back up there exploiting it, but they've got themselves a corner and opportunity to kind of get themselves a goal.
Yeah, I wonder how much. I mean, I'm sure you can't go too far in depth in designing your set pieces, but obviously you're gonna
Ramos back into the action.
Gonna see players in the box just trying to get ahead on the ball. Bit of a scruffy clearance there, wouldn't you say?
No, I'm not using that word anymore. I caught myself. You might have missed it about 5-6 minutes ago. I said the first half, and I pulled myself right back. Another substitution here coming in. Hanley's been revived, refreshed, and rested, and he is back. Looking a bit gingerly on his run, moving a little gingerly with a run across on the field there. So he definitely wanted to be back and part of the action again.
That's one of those, coach, I'm ready. Coach, I'm ready. Coach, I'm ready. Whenever you need me, coach, I'm ready to go back in.
Yeah, he was hungry to be back in there.
Good to see, though, as he did look like he was in a bit of pain on the sideline. So nice to see him get back on the game and in the action.
Yeah, Smith on the ball there, pops it into midfield, or Hanley's back straight on the ball. Doesn't take him long to get back involved in the action as he looks to spread the ball wide. Garcia steps onto it. Opportunity out wide. No, he's looking to skip through the middle. Got opportunity to shoot. Left it. Oh, he had the opportunity and just let it go one step too much, and now got himself hurt with a tackle whilst he was taking the shot. I don't think there was anything wrong with the tackle, but he had it a half yard before then. He's kind of fainted and doubted himself on the shots, and just that little doubt cost himself 2 or 3 yards, which now took the opportunity away from him. And that's the beauty of knowing when to take that shot. You've got to take it early. If you get that half a yard, especially out in and around that box, you know the space is always going to be closed down. Someone's close enough to you, they're going to go and cause you a problem.
And I think it looked like he maybe got caught between 2 ideas there as he went to kind of strike the ball. It looked like he might have been thinking about slipping Hanley in behind, who had just kind of peeled off the center back there. So maybe he gets caught thinking, do I pass it? Do I shoot it? Go ahead and have one. Whatever decision you make that decision and stick with it, right? And
yeah, I mean,
an extra touch just cost him.
Yeah. I think the shot was on. I think he had enough space. He could have played it actually to the near post that he had. He could have just bent it around the player. The defender was there. He would have been able to shape it around him, and the goalkeeper would have found a difficulty in seeing that ball till very late. But it doesn't take it, and an opportunity gets missed.
Yeah.
This cameraman, I'm not sure if he's doing it purposely, but he likes to move away from the injury action. He's ingrained in him.
Oh, looks like Hanley again still.
Hanley is still struggling with that foot.
Yeah.
And he has done something to himself. He thought he could come back on and play, and he's definitely. Is it?
Because Garcia originally was the man who was down, and then Hanley, you don't know if he's trying.
I'm unsure. I think he did some serious damage to himself in that first tackle, and he's got great desire to want to be back out on the field, and it looks like he's still struggling with whatever he's done to himself.
And he moved well when he got that ball at his feet just a minute ago.
He did.
Nice little thing there, tried to play in.
He's still moving around, but as I told you, as he ran back onto the field, you could see he was moving gingerly. He wasn't fully there, and that might be still nagging.
He's a strong player.
No, look, he's still bothering on top of the screen. He's trying to kick the pain out. Hopefully they take him out and just let him rest up, because obviously he's got games the following day. But I'm sure he's telling coach, I want to stay and I want to stay and I want to play. Got himself a goal. Wants to try and add to that. Great little ball from Medina, chipped it over the keeper into the central area and allowed the Hanley just to come onto it and nod a simple finish. And I think that believe that was making it 2-1 at the time.
Yeah.
Jaffa on the ball, goal scorer in the first goal. Probably the quickest NSG goal, 7 minutes in. Bang, cross, played the ball into the Medina, laid off and continued his run into the box, and great tidy strike across the keeper, bottom left-hand corner. And he looks like he's moved himself into midfield and getting himself involved in the action as much as possible. See the coaches or the scouts there in the bottom left-hand corner. They're all stood up as the game's starting to come to the final stages.
VIP access for that group there.
All discussing some of the players as who's played well, who they're looking at. Goalkeeper just making sure everyone pushes up.
Yeah, that's
Banic back in goal.
Now that looks like, I believe that's Mayhew. I think he came in. He's had this entire second half here, as now he's getting a talking to from the referee.
Was he wasting time?
Must be something.
Or something's wrong with the ball. Pressure on the ball.
Yeah, could be the or
drop ball.
You know, I wonder if there's medical attention. I wonder if maybe that's
handling.
Could be medical attention. They just stopping it real quick for him to get the player off the field. No, he's still on.
The cameraman likes to hide the action, so you don't actually know what is actually going on.
Something we haven't talked about, referees in this game, which is always kind of probably a positive anytime you're not really mentioning the referees and calls that they're making, as that looks like that's the game.
Yeah, they've been good. Referees have been good. The action's been good. Great game. I've really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. And I've kind of really enjoyed not seeing it and being tainted by the action first off while we kind of rewind on this. And 3-1. All the action happened in the first half in terms of goals. The second half was, fairly subdued in the terms that the game probably was won by the West, and they kind of just probed and maintained possession. East struggled to kind of find a way through. But some great goals, some great play. Once again, started electric. What a game. Started electric. It took the goals to settle the game down. 2 of our quickest goals in an NSG game, without a doubt. And thoroughly enjoyable. Some fantastic performances by some individuals in that game. They'd have been mentioned several times during this rewind. Thoughts, Andy?
I thought it's exactly what you said, just really enjoyable game from start to finish, a rapid start, absolute electric pace to start the game off that, just couldn't be sustained. I don't think it's humanly possible to sustain the pace they had. But like you said, goals kind of settled the game down. Players, started to stand out and take control. I think West really took control, fortunate to get up a couple goals in that first half, and then second half just kind of rode it out, even though they created 2 or 3 chances in that second half. So you could have had a couple more goals second half of the game, could have been a few more in the back of the net, but again, beautiful game, wonderful to watch, awesome atmosphere, really good standard, great play from these players, both as a team, as in individuals. A lot of different guys stand out and showcase themselves, and just what these games are all about, just showing off the best of the best, showing off the players that are around the league in the ECNL, that are around the country, in a format where they get to come out and play with each other, with players they've never played with before, and just showcase themselves. So awesome experience. Great watching it. Good listening, talking with you while we're watching it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I just want to make a special mention to 4 new goal scorers. They've added themselves onto the list of national selection game goal scorers. That was Ramos, Jaffa, Medina, and De Groot. Welcome to an exclusive list, without a doubt. And good goals all around. Really enjoyed it. It's Darel and Andy signing off. National Selection Game Rewind.